How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So haven't done any videos in ages because yeah, I've been building stuff outside of home, and we've been having renovations. So yeah, I built this deck back here and pergola, just waiting for the roof. That's why I've got the gazebo out there. Now, I've had a number of people ask for a follow-up video on the tyres I've got on my ute. So I did record a video but accidentally deleted it when it was out before Christmas, probably about November. So look, now's a good opportunity, so tune in. Let's go through it. So just to add in, people, especially on YouTube, may ask, why has it taken like a year to do a follow-up video on the Sailun RTs? Well, short answer, I don't get paid to do these videos, so I'm not going to prioritize them. I just do them for fun. So yeah, I haven't had the time in the last 12 months. So now I do have the time. Let's give people some feedback on how they're traveling. Right, so before we go outside, thought I'd just mention, please take the moment to, in the corner, click on subscribe button, like the video down the bottom. I've noticed, not that I take too much notice of the analysis of videos, but there's lots of people watching my videos, but no one subscribing or liking. So I appreciate it if you like it. Press the like button if it was useful to you or informative. And if it wasn't, rather than give me a thumbs down, how about give some feedback? What did you not like, or what could I do better? Yeah, let's go out there. Alrighty, let's do this. The third video in the installment of the tyre review for the Sailun Terramax RT in the 33 by 12.5 17 light truck. Now, I run my vehicle, which is a Pt.3 Ford Ranger. I run all four at 40 psi. That seems to be the sweet spot on my vehicle. Good mileage, good ride, and they're not noisy. I always get realignments. Probably, I'd say every second service I get front end wheel aligned just to check. And I haven't had any issues so far. So these have done approximately 45,000 Ks, somewhere in that vicinity. You can see they do get worked a bit. A little bit of scrubbing up on the sidewall. I would say that we do about 80% sealed road driving and approximately 20% dirt, rocks, sand, unsealed off-road, all that jazz. Now, I don't go all out thrashing these tyres. No, don't do that. It's more of a tourer, so I'd say maybe every couple of months it goes off-road. So let's talk a little bit about durability here. Now, at 45,000 clicks, I've measured the tread depth, and the shallowest part of the tread so far is approximately 9 millimeters deep. All that I can remember roughly is about
11.5 millimeters on a brand new tyre. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure, can't remember. But yeah, currently the most worn spot or section of the tyres is about 9 mil. So you look, you can see for yourself, these have been pretty durable. Still quite sharp on all of these edges here. Nothing's rounded off. I mean, as you can see, the sipes don't go all the way to the bottom, so as these wear, probably lose a little bit of wet weather grip. But look, you get most of the life of the tyre with good wet weather siping. I wouldn't even say that these are half worn yet at 45,000 kilometers. So sealed road grip in the dry, can't complain. It's a dual cab ute and it's heavy, so stops pretty well, quite sharp, good control in the dry. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Excellent. In the wet, also excellent. Can't complain. Haven't aquaplaned or had any issues, and I live in the Adelaide Hills where in winter it gets quite rainy and can get quite icy. Can't say that I have any complaints. So wet weather / icy grip would also be excellent. Next part, full driving grip. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about unsealed roads, full driving. Now, so far, the hardest I've pushed these is when I went to the Flinders, Ranges here in South Australia. We went on a few off-road tracks where I wanted to test out the grip of the tyres. So one of the tracks that we did was a moderate difficulty, a 6 out of 10, and I ran with no rear locker, 2-wheel drive, so just relying heavily on tyre grip and articulation on that particular track, and got to a spot that was quite shaly and had quite sharp rocks. And this tyre here, it's on the front left at the moment. It was on the rear left at the time, and this one spun up just a little bit, and you can see this scratch just through the middle here, scratches. So the shaly sharp rocks cut into it. I wouldn't say deep. I mean, you can grab it with your nail. It's whilst it's cut the tyre, I mean, it hasn't damaged it to the point where you would scrap the tyre. No way. You can see it's just scratched it up a little bit, and that was just a very small spin up. It chipped it a little, as you can see. So this is, I would say, due to the geometry of the vehicles for the Australian roads, the front left is where you'll get the most uneven wear, in my opinion, on an Australian setup car. So on my vehicle anyway, you get a little bit more wear on the shoulders, the outer shoulder. And this tyre is, whilst it gets rotated a fair bit, this is the one that's got 9 mil at its deepest. Still plenty of tread there. Alright, you can see that's deep. Haven't sustained any sidewall damage or anything, and I've given it a bit of a workout. Whilst it did spin up, it got through that section that damaged it. It was only once we started to get to the real toughest spot did I need the rear locker just to get me through a few spots. And once I aired down, so 20-ish psi, it was an animal. These worked really well on the gravelly, rocky tracks. I've done a little bit of mud driving with them, and they do eventually block up if you're on sort of a clay surface, but it's not a mud after all, so as long as you keep them flicking, they'll clear. Stone ejectors there work really well. Yeah, so off-roading, I'm actually really happy with them. They go down, or I've had them down to 10 psi on sand, and they float over the top really nicely. The only time I've ever been stuck is when I was towing my caravan, which is approximately 2 ton or just under 2 ton, and I brought it onto really soft sand, and I was at 20 psi, and we got bogged to the sills here. But traction board's got us out, lowered to 10 psi, and got out of that really well. So off-road, in my opinion, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Very good. Right, so let's talk a bit about the tyre noise. Now, if you're going from highway tyre to these, you will notice them. They do emit just a very light, unintrusive hum. Now, since I've had these on for 45,000 Ks, you do get used to it, and you won't even notice it. But I will say right now, if you go from a highway tyre to these, they will be noticeable, but not as noticeable as going to a full mud tyre. And yes, I would say most all-terrains would also probably be quieter than these, because you've got some really wide voids here, as you can see. So naturally that will emit noise when these tread blocks slap on the road. Now, if you get something like a Falcon, it's very tight tread grouping through the middle, and also the other one that I remember off the top of my head, like a Goodyear all-terrain, it's very close through the middle here. So naturally they're quieter. In saying that, running these at 40 psi all round, on the rear they wear a little bit more through the middle on my vehicle, and on the front, because of the turning, they wear a little bit more on the shoulders. So when I do a rotation, evens them out. So that's why these are wearing so nicely all the way across. They only get noisy, I've found, personal experience, if you run them 10,000 Ks between rotations. The fronts get noisy from the shoulder wear. So I'm rotating them at about 5,000-6,000 kilometers, and our wear is beautiful, and I've eliminated the humming from the wear on the shoulders. So I reckon I've just about covered off most things that I would feed back on these tyres here. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to ask about how they're performing for me, just put a comment down below. Let me know. Now, of course, there'll be people that just straight away give a thumbs down because they don't like the cheap option. I'd rather you make a comment, make a statement, and then let's have some discussion about why you dislike them or why you dislike this video. I'm not getting paid. Let's just get this right. I'm not sponsored. I'm just giving an unbiased review on these because, well, I like doing those, and I like watching people's reviews on YouTube myself. So if this is useful to anyone, please like my video or like my videos in the corner of this video or all of my videos. Press on the little icon in the corner, and please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I don't get paid. I just do this for fun. So this is actually unbiased. Hopefully this has been useful to people. Let me know if you have any questions. GT Garage.